Hi, I'm Joy and this is Yoga with Joy. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to take you through a fairly short, flowing, stretching yoga sequence now. So it's really lovely. You probably won't need any props. If you know that you need props and you like them, like a blanket or block or anything like that, please bring it along. But we'll just be going through some nice yoga. Don't quite know what I've got plant hanging in my face. Sorry about that. Grab a mat and let's get started.
Oh, radiant sun, pure consciousness, flaming orb of truth and bliss, remove the veil so I can see, illuminate my heart, awaken me.
Okay, so let's get started in a comfortable seated position. So find making yourself as comfortable as you can, either cross-legged or kneeling, or any way that's comfortable for you. I'm just going to pop a blanket underneath me. Okay, so we'll start by centering, bringing your awareness to your breath. Start to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Drawing the breath in and lifting through the crown of your head, right from the base of your spine, through your solar plexus area, your heart, your forehead, up through right at the top of your head. And as you exhale, there's a gentle softening of shoulders, all around the brow, back of the neck, the jaw. And bring your awareness to your heart and notice how it rests over your hips and how your head gently rests over your heart. And then softly opening your eyes. And we'll begin by just having a little look over the left side, keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Inhaling forward and exhaling over to the right side. Inhale forward and then bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Exhaling over. Gently releasing the left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale over to the other side. Gently releasing the right shoulder. Yourself up. One more time. So as you go over to the left side, reach out the left arm and just notice how the stretch becomes stronger down your right neck and shoulder. Inhale up and then the other side. Notice this stronger stretch. Inhaling up. Lovely. Okay, rotating the shoulders forward. And the shoulders back with the breath. So making sure that your breath is guiding your movement. Lots of lovely deep breaths. Fantastic. Okay, so let's flick out the hands. Stretching out the arms nice and strong, flicking out. Over to the side and then up and then back. In front, over to the side and then have a little shake out. Lovely, great. Okay, fantastic. So releasing yourself from a seated position and then coming onto all fours. So your knees are hip width apart and your feet are hip width apart, so resting under your hips, and then your hands are resting under your shoulders, so they'll be shoulder width apart. And we'll start to move the hips from side to side. Really using your breath to create a lovely flow. Easing into any areas that feel a little bit creaky and stuck. And just enjoying any parts of you that are feeling nice and supple. And then reducing the movement, your hips, and coming onto all fours, like staying onto stillness on all fours. Inhale. Looking up, so you're arching your back away from the ceiling. And then exhale, looking between your knees, arching your back towards the ceiling, lifting up your pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale. This is Majarasana, the cat. Really sensing yourself like a cat, doing your morning stretches. Lovely deep breaths. And then bringing the spine back to neutral. That's lovely. So open up the knees and bringing yourself back onto your heels, so your toes are touching, and then coming back into Balasana, child. Exhale, fold forward. Resting in child for a moment. And then start to move the hands over to the left hand side, so you're stretching out the right side of your torso. And moving the hands back to center. And then over to the right side, stretching out the left side. Really feeling yourself breathe into this stretch. And gently bring yourself forward. That's lovely. Bring yourself back up into the cat. Inhaling up and exhale, turning your toes over and gently hovering here. Have a little strengthen of your core muscles, so lifting up your mula bandha, your pelvic floor, and your abdominal muscles. And then exhale, back into half downward dog. Lowering the knees down. Inhale, upward cat. Bringing yourself back down. Exhaling into child. Inhale, lift up your right hand and thread it through, lifting up your hips a little bit. So you've got a little bit of room coming onto your knees, threading it through into thread the needle, placing your left hand by your face and turning the fingers in towards your face. And if you wish to, you can lift up, stretching the hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, placing the hand either on your sacrum or you can bring it to your thigh, your right thigh, to see how stretchy you're feeling today. Inhale, lift up your hand. Exhale, place it down, and then lift yourself up. Now take your left hand up and then thread it through. So you're resting on your shoulder. Lifting up. Your right hand is now placed near your face with the fingers pointing towards your head. Lifting up the hand, you can either leave it here or then you can bring the hand to the sacrum or tucking round into the left thigh. Lovely, deep breaths, resting in this thread the needle pose. And then exhaling your hand up, so your arm is stretching towards the ceiling. Take a breath and then exhale the hand down towards the face and then releasing your left arm. Wonderful. And then back into child. Bring yourself back up to tabletop. We'll bring the right foot back and just gently rock back on your toes. Lovely deep breaths. That's great. And then lifting up the right leg and giving it a little bit of a shake. Then bringing through your right leg and bring it in onto the outside of your hands. So your hands are facing down and your foot's on the outside. Inhale forward. Exhale back and flexing the right foot back, stretching out the hamstring here. Inhale forward, exhale back. Lovely lunge stretch. Some nice deep breaths. Ooh. And then bringing the foot down and back to stillness, placing your left hand down and your right hand up, we're coming into lunge twist. Reaching up towards the sky. And then placing the hand down. We're going to come into the higher lunge, but you can stay down here if you want. And if you want to, you can place a blanket underneath your knee. That can help. So you can either just stay down here, or you can come up with me into high lunge. Bring the hands to the heart. Facing forward, the knee is over the ankle. Lovely deep breaths. And then opening up into crescent lunge. Lovely. Soften the shoulders and the face. Lifting up the toes, the front toes, your right toes, and just gently releasing them back to the mat to make sure that they're nice and loose. And then bringing the hands to the heart. And then back down in between your leg. Lowering the knee down. And then bringing the knee to rest next to the other knee, hip width apart. Okay, fantastic. So we'll bring in some cat flexions and extensions. Inhaling up. Exhale, looking between your knees. And then turning, and then bringing your left leg out and just rocking back on your toes. Nice. And then lifting up the left leg and giving it a bit of a shake. That's great. And then bringing your left leg up to the front on the outside of the hands and bringing in this lunge stretch here, stretching out the hamstring as you go back, flexing the foot. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Lovely. Inhale forward, planting the right hand and lifting up the left towards the sky. Lovely deep breath, stretching up. Beautiful, okay. And then placing down the left hand. And then we're going to come up into our either low lunge or high lunge, your choice. Tucking, if you're coming up to high lunge with me, you're tucking the toes round, knee over ankle, keeping the toes nice and loose in the front toes. Bring the hands to the heart. Your drishti, your eye gaze, is nice, straight ahead. Lovely, strong back leg. You're keeping it nice and straight. Feeling the energy coming out from the back of the heel. And bringing the hands up, Prana Mudra. Lovely. Breaths. Keeping yourself nice and strong in this lunge. And then bringing the hands to the heart. And then down onto the mat. Lower the knee down. And then bring the left knee back, hip width apart, next to the right knee. Open up your knees to the edge of the mat. Touch your toes together and gently find yourself, your chest down onto the mat. So this is Anahatasana, melting heart pose. So you're bringing your chest onto the mat and possibly your chin as well. So Anahata is your heart chakra. So your heart chakra, which is of course the front and the back of your body, not just your chest. Is melting onto the mat. And then gently bringing yourself down. Into Sphinx pose, so that your forearms are resting on the mat and it's a gentle lower back bend. And if you feel like you wish to, you can rock your hips from side to side. Gently exhaling back onto your knees. I'm just going to adjust my pack, so bringing yourself back onto your knees, turning the toes round and coming back to half downward dog. Lifting up into an acute dog, so right on your tiptoes. And exhaling your heels down, so one heel at a time. You can walk out your dog. Encouraging your chest back towards your feet. Inviting your upper back to stretch, your hamstrings to stretch.
And then start to walk the feet out to the edge of the mat. And then gently walk your hands so that you're coming and hanging between this wide, your feet, and it's a wide Uttanasana. So you can bring your hands into, your hands onto your elbows so that you're swinging here. And then bend the knees slightly, release the arms, and start to roll yourself up. Bring the hands to the heart. And then lifting up with the hands wide apart, Prana Mudra. Inhale, lift up. And then the hands overhead. You can have a slight back bend here, it's quite nice. And bringing the hands to the heart. And down. Back. Onto the mat. And then starting to walk your hands out so that you're coming into a plank. So we're here, being in here in this plank posture. Nice, strong, strengthening posture. Now, if you don't feel like this today, or it's just not, you don't feel strong enough for this right now, you can place your knees down. That's totally fine. So you can just hold yourself here. Otherwise, we're up here. We're like a straight plank of wood. So really nice and strong. Your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Your neck's relaxed. And you're feeling really strong in your abdomen. Your pelvic floor's lifted. And then lowering the knees down. Lowering the chest down. And coming down onto your belly. Or onto your front of your body. And then inhale up into small cobra, just a little one. So the shoulders are relaxed. And then keeping your elbows bent and they're in at your side. Your hands are about just below your shoulders. And then exhale down. Lovely. Turning the toes round. Coming back onto your knees. Opening up the knees wide again and coming back into child. And resting here. And then gently bringing yourself back up, your knees, moving your knees to hip width apart, lifting up, stretching up here in the diamond Vajrasana posture. And then hands back to heart. And bring yourself back into this seated posture to finish. So you can finish in kneeling or you can change to cross-legged. And just taking a moment to rest and be here in this seated posture. Thanking yourself for this practice, this little bit of time you've given yourself to breathe, move, stretch. Bring the hands to the heart in prayer. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. And thank you for joining me on my channel. Please subscribe if you enjoy my videos. And if you wish to, you can like this video and leave a comment. It's always really lovely to hear from you. Just helps me make these videos. It's great. Lots of love and see you soon.
Oh, radiance and pure consciousness, flaming orb of truth and bliss, remove the veil so I can see.